Hi there guys, welcome back to another video on the RetroBrown Solo Run challenges. Today we're back in Johto and we've got Smeargle as our Pokemon, and at first when this came up I was a bit skeptical of how excited I was to do the run, but then I looked at the possibilities we actually have and it actually is going to become quite an interesting run. And that's because even though Smeargle's, I don't even know if I'm saying that right, Smeargle, I don't know if you need to put that lisp on it, but it has a base stat total of 250, which is spread out mostly over its speed and HP, and then everything else is very mediocre. What makes Smeargle a interesting Pokemon, and why it was used in the likes of VGC quite a lot in Gen 2, on quite experimental teams I would say, is the fact that it only learns one move, but you can learn that same move 11 times. And it's exclusive move just to Smeargle, and that move is Sketch. So if you don't know how Sketch works, basically you can learn it every 10 levels. You get it at level 1, but what Sketch does is it copies the move permanently of whatever the opposition uses. So we're going to have to really pick and choose which moves we want to sketch so we can build out a moveset that's going to take us through the entirety of the game and get us through these earlier portions. It's going to be a very tactical run, really. So you can see here in this very initial battle, I actually don't want any of Chikorita's moves, but thankfully we do outspeed, so I can use Sketch and get rid of it, and then we can use Struggle to try and get past the Chikorita. But because it's got good defenses, Struggle means we're losing HP every turn anyway. Even with the Berry, we're not going to do very well in this battle because Chikorita just keeps using Tackle. If it hadn't have used Tackle, we probably would have had a chance, but we don't really have a chance in this battle. But that's not a problem, we don't have to win this battle to progress. The first move that I'm actually looking at to sketch is probably a move you're not really thinking would be the best move to be going with, but at this point in the game, the battles that are coming up, getting Peck from this Spearow trainer is actually the best thing to be doing. We do have, we don't really have good attack or special attack, so either way, it doesn't matter which one we use. But because there's a lot of bug Pokemon and we've got Bugsy coming up in the second gym, Peck is the best move to have copied in this part of the game. But getting past Falkner is the first challenge, and even at that point, we're going to need to get up levels to be able to do that. We can go against the bug trainers that are around Violet City, and we can go against the Bellsprouts and Sprout Tower, we can get levels up that way. But this is not going to be a quick run in any sense of the word. We are going to have to take our time, we are going to have to do more battles than normal. But once we can get up enough levels, honestly, Sprout Tower is going to be the best place to level up in this early game. Because the Bellsprouts are weak to Peck, we've got a super effective move. It's going to take at least 2 hits to take them out, even though we're 5 levels above them. But the question is, what level do we need to be to actually beat Falkner? And that's an interesting one, because once you've beaten all the trainers, it becomes harder to level up. You're going to have to go back in the grass, you're going to have to go and level up against wild Pokemon. Now in Gen 1 you do also have Metapods in Viridian Forest that you can go against. They're the best thing to get experience. It's actually the same case here. You can go against Metapods and Kakoonas in the grass just outside of Violet, and from there you can actually get up your levels quite easily. So once we're at level 13, we can have our first try against Falkner. He doesn't actually have any moves that we want to sketch, so there's no point even using Sketch on him. Annoyingly though, Peck does not do very much damage against the Pidgeotto, so we're not even going to get past this level 9 Pidgeotto with a level 13 Smeargle. And that means we're going to have to level up a little bit more. But the level we could actually do this at is level 16. Yes, level 16 is the level it took us to actually get past Falkner. It means Peck can do better damage against that Pidgey, and we've got 40 HP going into the Pidgeotto. Gust is now only doing 6 amount of damage, and we're kind of doing around about the same amount of damage as the Pidgeotto is doing with us. But we do get a clutch critical hit, which means we go ahead in the amount of damage we're putting out, and we can beat Falkner at level 16. I did try this at every single level going up, but level 16 was the first time it actually became possible and consistent to be able to beat him. So now we've also got Sketch from level 11. What's the next move we're going to get? Well, we've got a lot of rock Pokemon coming up in this next cave, so I'm actually going to go against this youngster Gordon here against his Wooper, and we're going to sketch Water Gun. Because there's a lot of rock Pokemon coming up, it makes sense to actually get Water Gun and make this next part of the run a bit easier. And we won't keep Water Gun all too long really. It's just going to be temporary until we get past this point here. Peck, strangely enough, we are going to keep for quite a long time, but this is the whole reason here why we needed Water Gun, is to get past all these rock trainers with the Onix, the Geodudes, and even Hiker Anthony coming up after the cave. Because the Hiker Anthony has a Geodude and he also has a Machop, so using Peck and Water Gun is the easiest way to get that experience from him and also get past him in this circumstance. We're at level 19 coming out of the cave, going at level 20. One more level, we can get one more sketch, and we can think about our next move. And I actually don't think I'm going to need that third move yet until we get to Whitney. So we can go against the rival here with just Water Gun and Peck. Water Gun's going to be fine against the Ghastly, even though we get put to sleep, and Spite starts taking out our PP while we're asleep, which is really annoying. We're pretty much out of PP for Water Gun now, so we just have to rely on Peck, which is not great. But we do have the Bayleaf coming up next, and Peck is super effective. The worst thing that can happen is that Razor Leaf keeps critting, but we managed to get through quite comfortably just using Peck. Bugsy, on the other hand, is a little bit more difficult. So we're level 23. Its Metapod and Kakuna are not going to be a problem, really. They're very weak to Peck. Same with the Cypher is weak to Peck, but because it starts spamming Fury Cutter straight away, it actually means that we're going to have to try and get enough Pecks in before Fury Cutter starts accumulating data attack. And yeah, it took a few tries, but level 23, 24, it was possible to do this fight. We did get lucky in that Fury Cutter only hit 3 times, so it didn't hit too many times before that. And we can beat Bugsy at level 24 quite comfortably. We're at a pretty decent level, but this is the reason why we needed that third sketch to go into Whitney, because we need to pick up Rollout. And first thing, we need to just get past this Clefairy in general. So level 20, we've got to level 25, we didn't even get a chance to copy sketch there. So after a few more, we didn't even get a chance to copy Rollout, I mean. But in this next attempt, we'll actually get that chance. We do get paralysed by the Clefairy, which is very annoying. But the Miltank comes out, we'll use one Water Gun, it goes for Rollout. Now we've got it, and the next attempt, we'll actually have a chance to beat Whitney with Rollout. So we're not even going to use any other move here, we're just going to go straight for Rollout and let that damage accumulate. And we can go from there and hopefully one-shot that Miltank when it comes out. And now we've taken out the Clefairy. Miltank's going to come out. Do we outspeed? We do, and it's going to be a 2-shot. So that actually became an easy battle when we had the right moves. Moving into Morty, he's going to be sort of a problem, really. The Ghastlies are annoying, but we can actually just use Rollout. Annoyingly, he does use Curse, but we've now hit two Rollouts. The third Rollout should be able to take out the Haunter, and it doesn't in this circumstance. And then we go put to sleep. So this is actually going to be a bit of a... We're not going to be able to do this first time. And we're not going to win this attempt against the Haunter. But I still think it's possible at this level. So we just need to give it another try. Another attempt against Morty's going to be what we need to do. We're at level 36 this time. A Peck is enough to take out a Ghastly now. Haunter, it's probably not going to be enough to take it out here. So this is where we need to start setting up the Rollout and hope we don't get cursed. We do get cursed there, but it takes itself out. So we're still on full HP. And we've got the Gengar to contend with. So we're going to at least take one bit of damage with that curse. We don't get put to sleep. Now we've got full Rollout ready for this final Haunter. And when the RNG works in your favour that way, it actually becomes quite an easy battle. But we are level 37 now. This is where the game starts getting really, really difficult though. Because the next gym leaders we've got Chuck, we've got Jasmine, and we've got Price. Now Price probably will be the easiest out of all of them. But Chuck and Jasmine are definitely going to be a lot more difficult. And actually, I was I didn't even think about planning this move when I was going past here, but I realised that the Staryu had Recover, so I thought this is a perfect move to give ourselves some longevity in battle. And I didn't even plan to pick up this move, I just came across it and thought, you know what, this is definitely going to help our strategy, it's going to help us get through a lot of fights a lot easier. So we picked up Recover from that Staryu. And we can go against the trainers in Chuck's gym. And this is where Recover really played into effect here. We waited out Hitmonlee to... When it was using Jump Kick, we were having a problem. But when it was using Double Kick, we actually had a chance. And I went for it there. But the problem with these two trainers is you have to fight them back to back. The Hitmonchan's actually a lot easier than the Hitmonlee, I find. So we can actually use Recover, get back our HP, and from there we can use Peck to sweep. Peck is not a great move, but it is super effective, so it means we actually do have a chance to get past these trainers with relative ease. If they'd used fighting type moves, we actually would have had more of a problem. Now this brings us on to Chuck, and Chuck is actually a lot harder than I ever imagined or remember him being. When you're doing solo runs, Chuck is actually kind of a wall in some cases. So Peck's going to do decent damage on the Primeape, but Karate Chop does massive damage and even takes out in one. So I actually decided to leave Chuck for a while after quite a few losses, and I moved on to Jasmine, just see what we can get. And this is where I realised that we can actually get rid of Water Gun for the first time, because there's another move here that's actually really going to help us out against Chuck and against Price. And that is Thunderbolt on the Magnemites. So once we can stall that out, we're not even trying to win this fight here, we're just trying to get Thunderbolt. So we've sketched Thunderbolt now, we've got a very powerful move to be moving forward with. We'll take the loss and we'll move on, we'll try Price. Out of the three, Price is easily the easiest gym leader, but before we can even go against him, we might as well go get a few more levels going against the Rockets on the side quest. And from all that training, we're at level 48 now. We haven't even beaten Chuck, we haven't beaten Jasmine, we haven't beaten Price. We've done all this to get the levels up because with our stats being so bad, we actually need those levels to be able to get through a majority of fights. And once we can beat these Rockets, we can move on, we can beat Price and open up the run a lot more. It's going to be a lot easier after this point. So now we've got Thunderbolt, we're going to go back against Chuck. We can recover so we can hopefully get past that Primeape with as much HP as possible. And we're kind of just hoping for it to either miss or to go for Fury Swipes. But it takes ages before it actually uses Fury Swipes, and then from there we can use a Peck and take it out. Next up's the Poliwrath, and 2 Thunderbolts are going to be more than enough to take it out. So once we've actually got the right moves, most of these fights become a lot easier. And we can then move back over to Price. And there's another move that I actually want to sketch here. So I waited until we got to level 51 before we even went against Price, because we needed Thunderbolt. I wanted to beat Chuck, but against the Pile of Swine, it actually has Blizzard, which, considering we've got Claire and Lance coming up, it's going to be a fantastic move to have. I wasn't even planning to win this fight. We did get frozen, and we do get taken out by the Pile of Swine on this attempt. The second attempt, however, is a different story. Thunderbolt's going to be more than enough for the Seal and the Dugong. And then, it's strange. Pile of Swine is that, even though it's a ice and ground type, it actually is weak to ice, so Blizzard is the best move to be using against it. Thunderbolt, because of the ground typing, does not actually do anything, but because it's neutral damage against the Pile of Swine, Blizzard is the perfect move to be using against it. And now we've beaten Price and Chuck, there's only one other gym lead we can go against, and that has to be Jasmine. And even at level 52, this is a slog. Thunderbolt strangely became the best move to be using against the Magnemites. We do have Recover to keep our HP up. The most annoying thing is we do get paralysed and confused a lot in this battle. We do actually manage to paralyse the Magnemite, which really surprised me. And then the Steelix comes out. Blizzard is the perfect move to be using here because it's super effective, and we get the freeze. So just in case it thawed out, I used Recover and then used Blizzard again to take it out. So this is why Smeargle was a really interesting Pokemon to use. You had to really plan out your run to be able to get past him. With Thunderbolt and Blizzard though, we have a great moveset to move forward with. Most Pokemon don't really get these moves until maybe the late post game. So having these moves at this stage is fantastic. Even though we've been cursed, the rival in Goldenrod is no problem whatsoever. We have Recover to get our HP back. Meganium is going to get taken down to Blizzard. We've got a very good moveset to move forward with, and we beat him first try as well, which I wasn't expecting. It was a good thing that I also picked up Recover when I did, because that was the key to getting through majority of all these battles, really. Because we take so much damage and we get paralyzed and confused a lot in Gen 2. Gen 2 absolutely loves throwing status effects at you. It really is annoying. And because I don't heal in battle and I don't I don't use healing items for HP or the status effects, Recover is a fantastic move to be using on a solo run. It's just that not many Pokemon do get it, which is annoying, but this is what we do these challenges for. We want to see the challenge. When we beat the Rockets, we can then move on to Claire, and she is a complete whitewash. Blizzard takes out all 3 of her Dragonairs, but because Kingdra is Water Dragon, Blizzard's not going to be the player to use, so we're going to have to switch to Thunderbolt. And it only takes a few Thunderbolts to take it down, and annoyingly she does use that Hyper Beam right there and the Hyper Potion. We can use Recover to keep getting back our HP, and there's nothing that she can do here that can really take us out. We just need to take her out on our own time. And we just keep missing so many Thunderbolts because of the smokescreen. But either way, it became a very easy battle at level 61, which is probably one of the higher levels I've had to beat Claire. Now we can move on to the Elite Four, but before the Elite Four, we've got the final rival fight. His Sneasel goes down with not much problem whatsoever, same with the Golbat. Magneton, I'm going to go for Blizzard here, and we do get paralysed annoyingly. A couple more Thunderbolts take it out, but we do keep getting paralysed. This is why paralysis and status effects in Gen 2 are so annoying. They just seem to be broken. And every trainer just wants to inflict you with confusion or paralysis. It's so draining. The Kadabra is going to go down with not much problem whatsoever. It just keeps wanting to spam Future Sight. And then we've got the Meganium. So even though we're paralysed, Blizzard is the best move to use, and it's a one-shot. And strangely, this late game, Smeargle actually started becoming very, very powerful. Even though we are level 65, we are very over-leveled. But Will is not going to be a problem. We've got moves that can counter most of his Pokemon. You've got Rollout for the Ice types. You've got Blizzard for Executor. You've got Thunderbolt from the majority of the others, which are Water Psychic or Flat Water or Psychic Flying. It's not a hard battle in any regard. Moving into the Slowbro, it's a one-shot. Oh no, it's not a one-shot. Okay, well we can use this time to recover and get back our HP. Thunderbolt's going to take it down. Xatu comes out. This is why I'm glad that I actually picked up Recover on the way. It made these battles a lot easier. It made it so we can actually stall out and find the right moment to attack. Koga actually became a bit of a problem. So Ariados, we paralyze on this first turn and take it down with 2 Thunderbolts. Yes, Blizzard would have been probably a one-shot, but because we've got so little PP with Blizzard, it made sense to try and save it for the Pokemon we need it for the most, and the Fortress is one of them. So Blizzard is probably our best move to be using here. Thunderbolt, we do get a lucky crit with, and we can move on to the Muck. We are poisoned, which is a bad sign. Out of all the status effects, I would say Poison's probably the worst one for us, because even with Recover, if we're badly poisoned, that damage is just going to keep accumulating and we can't recover enough to be able to keep our HP up. And yeah, we do get taken down by the Muck here. So this is going to involve a bit of RNG. We need that lucky... We need that luck, really. Giga Drain's not a problem. It would be a great move to use, but I've got 2 other moves in mind that I actually want for this late game. And I'll talk about them once we've beaten the Elite Four. So now we've taken down the Venomoth. Annoyingly, that Fortress always uses Protect. So we can just try and keep our HP up, use Thunderbolt when we can because it's got more PP to use. And annoyingly, that Fortress then uses Explosion. We managed to tank it with 1 HP, and we need to outspeed and get our HP back up. The worst thing that can happen is we get poisoned again. Thankfully, well, we do get poisoned annoyingly, but it's not badly poisoned, so it's not the worst thing. We can keep getting our HP up and wait for him to use Minimize, then we've got a chance to attack with Thunderbolt. It's going to take quite a few Thunderbolts to be able to get past him, so we try for Blizzard and we do get a crit. Now our HP is getting low, we should really be healing our HP now. But if we can hit a Thunderbolt or a Blizzard here, it should be a one-shot, and it is on the Crobat. So Kogo goes down after quite a bit of a struggle, really. He was one of the hardest members of the Elite Four. And annoyingly, Bruno also became one of the harder members of the Elite Four. So we don't really have a move that is a good counter for any of his types. And what I should have really done was waited till I was at level 71, learned Sketch again, and we should really get rid of Rollout in this circumstance. The reason being, we can then go through the Elite Four again, we can go against Will's Pokemon and we can pick up Psychic. That is actually the best play to have done. There's no real point of keeping Rollout at this stage in the game. Pretty much because if we have Psychic, we've got a super effective move against fighting types, we've got Thunderbolt for any water or flying types, and we got Blizzard for any dragon types that are coming up soon. So yeah, we went back to a level 71, we picked up Psychic, and then we continued on. So yeah, I actually had to restart that one because I remembered that I'd run out of PP for Psychic. So once we'd gone in the battle again, we've now got Psychic on our move roster. It's going to be very easy to then get past most of these Pokemon. The one that I'm worrying about next though is that Machamp. We don't have great defenses, and if he uses Cross Chop, we will pretty much lose. We're on 14 HP here going into it. We're very lucky that we tanked that, so now the Onix comes out. It's the last Pokemon, but I'm just going to get my HP back up anyway. Can use Blizzard, take it out, and there's Bruno. That's how you get past Bruno over Smeargle. Karen is going to be difficult. The Umbreon is a tank, so it's going to take 4 Thunderbolts to take it out, even with a crit. And annoyingly, she starts setting up Sand Attacks and the status effects. This is why I hate this Umbreon. It was difficult enough using an Umbreon in our own run last time, even though it did get a good time in the end. But it has its own ways of being annoying. So we do actually lose against this Gengar here because of the paralysis and the curse. So we need to get better RNG to be able to get through this. Umbreon does confuse us, does use Sand Attack, and gets a Faint Attack off before we take it down. The Vileplume's not a problem. Blizzard takes it out in 1. Gengar, we need to use Psychic. And now we've run out of PP because of that Spite. But thankfully, we don't really need it. Murkrow is very weak to both Thunderbolt and Blizzard. We just got to make sure we're at as much HP as possible for the Houndoom coming out next. And I was a bit of a loss here. We don't really have the best moves to take out Houndoom. Thunderbolt is our best play, and we've just got to bide our time, keep our HP up, and from there we can just ever so slightly just keep chipping away at it, and eventually we will take this down. It does actually start running out of its flamethrower PP, because in Gen 2 the opponents actually do have PP, whereas in Gen 1 they don't. And we've also been burnt, which isn't great, but we're not actually using physical type moves, so it doesn't really matter too much. It's just the extra chip damage, which is annoying. So this is where it actually becomes funny that he ran out of PP. So he used Roar on us, and that meant that we could start bringing in our Smeargle without having to worry about that burn damage, and we can move on to Lance. So it actually became a second try victory against Karen. I'll tell you what's a first try victory though: Lance. Lance was a first try victory because of the moves that we planned out to get in the beginning. Annoyingly, we do get paralysed. This is what I mean. Every single battle I have had some sort of status effect put on us. But we've got such a good move set for the champion that it becomes so trivial we don't really have to worry. The Charizard strangely becomes the one we have to worry about the most because we keep getting paralysed. But because we have Recover, we can just keep biding our time, waiting for the correct moments to attack. And the paralysis we probably are stunned by paralysis about 10 times in this one battle. It's ridiculous how bad status effects are in Gen 2. But once we've bided our time, Thunderbolt can take him out, and we beat the champion at level 73. Once we've taken out this Dragonite, of course. What I was actually hoping for here was that because he uses Outrage, he confuses himself, we'll wait for that moment to then use Blizzard. And as you see, it becomes very easy. We've got full HP, and there's the champion. So at level 73, we beat the Pokemon League with just a Smeargle. It is definitely a lot higher level than I think you were probably expecting, but we needed those extra sketches to be able to get new moves. But what time did we do the Elite Four in? So we did the Elite Four in... We're just going to have to go through these Pokemon first. We did it at 7 hours and 11 in-game minutes. So in real time, I do this at double speed. So that will have been about 3.5 hours or so in real time it took me to do this. But there's more to do with this game, of course. With Gen 2, there is the post-game. Now, I'm not going to show you all of the gym leader fights in Kanto because most of them are quite boring. But I am going to show you Blue and I am going to show you Red. Now, we did pick up another move which was very crucial, and we could only find it in Kanto. And that move, it makes this battle so easy. So, have I picked it up? Yes, we have. We have picked up Spore. Now, there is a trainer in Nugget over near Nugget Bridge, the pathway going against the Nugget trainers, that has a Parasect. Parasect. And from there, you can sketch Spore, which is the best sleep move in the entire game. It's got 100% accuracy. And yeah, just having that move alone and you outspeed, you can pretty much one-shot. You can do this on your first try. Blue becomes very easy once you've got Spore. Rhydon is up next. We've got Blizzard to take it out. We are going to put it to sleep though, just to give ourselves a bit of insurance. We don't want it to use Sandstorm. And one Blizzard is enough to take out the Rhydon. Next up is the Gyarados. We know it's 4 times weak to Electric type moves, so we are going to put it to sleep just to be sure. And Thunderbolt will take it out. Strangely, he used a full restore there to get rid of the sleep, but it doesn't matter. Either way, it's taken out. Executor will be weak to Blizzard, so we're going to use Spore, put it to sleep. This is how broken Spore is. This is the reason I wanted it in Kanto, because I think that just by having that one move, Red is going to become quite easy as long as we can outspeed his Pokemon. So you might notice it flicked up a little bit there, but the main stat that I put all of my vitamins into was speed. I've completely maxed out my speed to make it as good as I can, because as long as we can outspeed, we've got a chance to win. Arcanine is not really a problem whatsoever. It does get a flamethrower in, but we're going to take it down before it really has much chance to do anything against us. And that's Blue done first time with Smeargle. Yes, we are level 82, but we're going to need those levels especially for Red. So Red always starts out with his signature Pikachu at level 81. We do outspeed at level 82, so we can then use Blizzard. It unfortunately misses though, but with having Spore, it just gives us so much more insurance to be able to go through this fight. We keep missing our Blizzards, and I cannot understand why we're missing them. Yes, it's not 100% accurate, but it's so annoying that it missed twice in a row. We've got rid of all of his full restores for the Pikachu, and yeah, we've not got enough PP really. We need to stall out with Thunderbolt for the rest of the Pokemon. And this is where it becomes a problem, and I realised there's actually one more move that I really need for this fight, and it's not going to be... We're not going to get rid of Thunderbolt, we're not going to get rid of Blizzard, we're not going to get rid of Spore. Annoyingly, the move that makes it possible is we need to get rid of Recover. So, yeah, it's going to be a bit of a slog to get past them just using these moves without any power-ups, but yeah, there's one more move that we need to get, and we actually need to go back to the Elite Four to find it. If you can guess this move before we actually get to the next attempt where we use it, you'll understand why we needed it. But this is the reason why we needed this other move is because of Snorlax. As soon as it uses Amnesia, that our most powerful move, Blizzard, is doing barely any damage on it. And as soon as he hits with Body Slam, we get paralyzed. Yeah, putting it to sleep as well is not the best strategy on this Snorlax because it can use Snore. And that is the move that takes us down. So the move that we actually needed, if you got it right, the move that we needed was Cross Chop. So you can get Cross Chop from the Machamp on Bruno. And that gives us a physical attacking move that is going to be able to take out that Snorlax. So I knew for a fact we weren't going to take out that Pikachu, but we want to stall out using those full restores. So we used Spore again, he's going to stay asleep, and we can start taking it out with Blizzard. Blizzard is more than enough to take it out in 2 hits, but I don't want to waste all that PP. So we are going to use Thunderbolt twice to get past the Pikachu. And we've still got full HP. We are level 91 at this point. I could have learned Sketch again if I really needed to, but that was the last level that we can actually learn Sketch, so we'd be stuck into these moves regardless. But I really researched this run to be able to figure out what was going to be the best moveset to use on a Smeargle on this solo run. Thunderbolt is going to take 4 hits on the S button, take it down, and now we're on to the Snorlax. Snore is not the worst move to be hitting us, but we wanted it to sleep just so we can use Cross Chop, and it's not going to use anything like Body Slam. We get a critical hit with the Cross Chop, and we take it down in 2. So that is the scariest Pokemon on this team to be able to take us down. We've now got Venusaur, who's weak to Blizzard. We are going to put it to sleep though. This is why we needed Spore. We needed it to be able to tank and give us enough chance to actually hit, because as you can see there, we've just missed 3 times with Blizzard in a row. If we don't hit Blizzards, we can't get past that Venusaur easy. Thunderbolt won't do much against it, neither will Cross Chop, but we needed at least 2 Blizzards to get past that Venusaur. Next up's the Charizard, and it's weak to Thunderbolt, so we are going to put it to sleep again. And it should be more like 2 Thunderbolts should take it out. It does wake up and attacks us, so we need to put it back to sleep. We need to keep him asleep because we don't have Recover this time round, and I don't equip held items as well, so I couldn't equip leftovers to make this easier for myself. I made these rules so that I'm playing this as true as I can to Gen 1. We don't have held items, you can't heal in battle, and this is why probably my end times and my levels are a lot higher than what other people are doing on the internet, because I'm not using those held items to give myself a boost. I've seen people do a Smeargle run, they finished at level 70, so yeah, without a held item actually makes a massive difference. But we beat Red, and we've completed the game with a Smeargle. And if I was right, I think we were level 91 there to finish off. Might have got level 92 just on that last Pokemon. But let's see what time we actually finished in. We were around that 8-hour mark when we beat the champion, the 7-8 hour mark. I can't remember. Well, let's have a look at the stats. And we were at level 91. This was the moveset we did to finish it with Thunderbolt, Blizzard, Spore, and Cross Chop. Moveset I've not used whatsoever before on these Johto runs, so it was nice to use them. And we finished that in 8 hours 50 minutes. We beat the 9-hour mark by 10 minutes. Which, honestly, I thought we were going to be in the 10 hours when I first looked at this run, but we've managed to do it. And that is the end of the run. I don't really know where I'm going to put Smeargle on the tiering list at this point, but I'm sure we'll have a look when we get past these next 10 Pokemon. But I don't think 8 hours 50 minutes is that bad of a time, really. Considering we had to be such high level in the 90s, we didn't have the best stats to work with. But either way, we've managed to prove that it's possible to beat the game with Smeargle, and we can move on. So now we've completed the run. I want to see what we're going to get on next week's run. So let's spin the wheel again, and we'll figure out what we're going to do. So first up is Tyranitar. Pseudo Legendary. We have done Larvitar already, but I'm not ready to tackle that line again yet. Second up is Pineco. Oh god, that's going to be a difficult Pokemon. Third is Quagsay. We've done Wooper already. Okay, Pineco's the only one we haven't done its evolution line has done a run yet, so we're going to go with Pineco. And with that said, guys, if you got to this point in the video, please smash that like and subscribe button. It really helps out the channel. And of course, I want to see more subscribers coming in. So if you do subscribe, you're a legend, and we'll see you on the next video. Which of course is going to be a Pinecore run. This is gonna suck. I do this to myself a lot. See you later, guys. Take care.